And welcome back to Breakfast Extra. Digital services have evolved rapidly in Nigeria over the last decade, providing easier access to products and services that were once out of reach without walking into a physical store. By leveraging technology and data, digital services have ensured that a much larger proportion of Nigerians can now access credit, investment opportunities, insurance, savings, retail, and even retirement planning. The rapid growth of Nigeria's digital ecosystem has been enormous, and it's only just beginning.
So joining us is someone right here in the studio at the forefront of that innovation. He's a product designer shaping how we interact with technology every single day. We're pleased to be welcoming Adewunmi Aladenusi. That's a mouthful, so I'll just call you Adewunmi from now.
Welcome,
Adewunmi, you're welcome.
Welcome.
First off, paint for us a picture of where we find ourselves when it comes to our digital readiness, or our use, or how we position in the map.
On a global scale, or even just this continent?
Let's start from a global scale, then the continent, then Nigeria, then New Central.
Okay, I mean, on a global scale, we definitely still have some work to do because we're still building very local products instead of thinking very globally. On the continent, I think we're doing a better job. There are companies like MoneyPoints, Flutterwave, Paystack doing incredible work, helping us bridge that gap across the entire continent, making payments easier. It's very difficult. A lot of countries have different ways they approach payments. Some still use cash, some are purely digital. So companies like that are finding ways to make that very seamless, allowing people in Ghana to be able to accept money from people in Nigeria, allowing people in Kenya to be able to sell goods to people in Cote d'Ivoire, and so on and so forth. In Nigeria, definitely I would say in the last 6 years, things have really improved. Since I got into the space, I remember when I was joined, I think that was when apps like Cowrywise and Piggyverse were just taking off. But now they've kind of cornered the market. They own the savings space. Again, the Flutterwaves and the Paystacks are now like established organizations. We have MoneyPoints, we have OPay, we have PoundPay. There's a lot of growth. It's a new central, I don't know.
Or we'll employ you to help us, maybe for
sure.
payments and all of that.
For sure.
But Queen, can I go on?
Continue,
okay, fine.
I told you, I got you.
These innovations haven't been without their problems.
For sure.
You mentioned a couple of names which we'll invoice you for later. But I'm not going to mention them, but in the past we've had very big issues with some of them. How secure are we when it comes to the Nigerian context and financial services as far as tech is concerned? Because I have where I'm going with this. After your question, Sha, don't worry. I have where I'm going with this question.
Security is at the forefront in any digital innovation that's created, especially in the financial space. I don't think any of them don't take it lightly or overlook it. The things we see in the headlines, most times it's unforeseen circumstances. It's not planned. It's just because, again, there are people that will try to break your system because they are always just bad characters, bad actors. Anywhere you are, any product that you design or build, there are people that will try to break it. And I don't know why, but they find joy in doing things like that.
But if you say you've been in it for, like, in the past 6 years, Nigeria has taken off.
It's improved.
It's improved. So I'm wondering, as it's taking off or improving, are we also improving with security?
100% we are.
Now, statistically, where do we stand in comparison to other countries? Because as you're advancing, also, hackers and the rest are also advancing as well.
So, funny enough, I think we have one of the most sophisticated financial systems in the world.
Nigeria?
Yeah, we do. Ironically, we actually do, compared to our counterparts in the West. We still have some work to do. That's the truth. We have a lot of work to do in terms of like making it even better or making it scale.
Right.
Because there are scenarios like during the cashless policy period, during that tight crunch where the systems are just failing because of a lot of like people being on the systems at the same time. So I would say that we are heading towards the right direction, and I think we're putting the right things in place to make sure that we're like top 10 in the world.
Okay, I'll save my next question.
But I like the fact that you're very confident as to saying that, Nigeria is evolving and, he's preaching security for me. I'm like, okay, So what about people who are so convinced that, I'm going to stick to the old way? I'm going to hide my money at home. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to, have an ATM. So that would be like our fathers or our great fathers and all that. So my point is, how do people come to trust tech, how do people come to a point to say, you know what, I'm going to trust this process? Because most times when you come up with new innovations, Nigerians are terrified and like, you know what, I don't want to be scammed. So how do people get to a point that, you know what, we're going to trust fintech and all that?
So I think on the tech side, it's our job to actually build that trust. What Nigerians or Africans as a whole are looking for are products that they can trust, and products that are clear, products that are not doing any funny gimmicks, hiding fees, not being very straightforward, not letting people know what they're signing up for before they get into it. We have a lot of work to do to market them, to make them feel safe and secure with the products and services that we create.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Mazino.
Oh, okay, fine. That question I was gearing up for.
Right.
So if you say Nigeria has one of the most secure services in the world, I'm wondering, are we just going to reserve this for financial services? If we want to take a look at it from the global perspective, in other climes, they don't just reserve it for financial services. They extend it to other things, even your fueling your car or electricity bill, your television, and all that, and also voting. Ah, he smiles.
Yes.
Do you think we can apply the same innovation that we have applied in our fintech into voting? Because we just came off of a conversation about diaspora voting. I don't know if you heard. So I'm wondering why we can't apply this. And Mr. Frank Weke actually said, he mentioned the fact that our financial services are top-notch, if you remember in that conversation. So, expert, what are we missing out here?
Tell us.
That's a very interesting segue.
So you see how I got to it.
It's a very interesting segue. So the first part, like I definitely even see like these secure systems like reaching other like industries like insurance, even healthcare and other different spaces. It's going to take some time. Right now, I think payments is still at the forefront to almost everything that we do as a nation and as a continent. It's going to evolve to other things as like once we secure that, but we still have a lot of work to do there even. There's still so much work to do in payments. So even though we have all these fintechs around, there's still so much work to do in Nigeria and the continent as a whole. In terms of voting and like more robust systems and more digital systems for that, I'll leave that to INEC, but I'll leave that to INEC. But I would say 100%. There are definitely ways that we can have like more, like diaspora voting with better digital identification. Once you're a Nigerian anywhere in the world, you should be able to vote. To be honest, so. Yeah, I'll leave that.
Okay, it's okay.
You've left it. Just take it.
All right.
So Adewunmi, you've talked about being into this for about 6 years, and when we're talking about change in Nigeria, we're always looking at the government, federal, state, local. So is the government involved? Are there government organization involved in this fintech? Because if you're telling us now that we have one of the best, like Mr. Frank Weke mentioned, it means there's some things that's going well. So my question now is the government involved? I want to know so that in case if the government is involved, let's know how they will now navigate, because it feels like they'll either say logistics is happening in one problem for diaspora voting or something, or insecurity. So is the government involved in the fintech?
I think it's very difficult to say. I would say that the best way to answer this is like there needs to just be like better collaboration between the private sector, which is like these fintechs and these technology companies, and the government to achieve the same goal. Because at the end of the day, we have the same goal. If they are fully involved, I can't say. I wouldn't prove to them.
Well, I'll jump on that and say this, regarding reforms and. Is it tax reforms now that has just been introduced? Adewunmi, why do you keep?
No, I'm just like
He's looking for the next committee to hand it over.
I think he's preempting my question. He's like, where's this guy going now? Where's this guy going now? But interestingly, don't let me lose my train of thought. Tax reforms have just landed, and whether we like it or not, there's a tech involvement 100%. There. So that means, to bridge in your question, the government is involved one way or the other. I don't want to ask how safe am I. I just want to know how private my information is, because now it's beginning to seem like the government can go into my account and take out money without my permission, and so that's the biggest fear most people have, and I'm wondering whether this is a valid fear.
I think new things scare people, and then this is definitely a new thing that they're trying to do. I'm not going to act like a tax expert. I'm not. I work in technology, so if we let them figure it out, then we find ways to bring it into the tech. But I don't think you should be worried about that. I think the government's doing a great job to like make sure that like all their citizens are safe and secure. in terms of the new innovations and the new reforms that they're putting in place.
Right.
I think this should just be one of them as well.
Very safe answer.
Right. So there will be so the question now will be database.
Okay.
I feel like one of the issues that we have is database, having to, merge our database from BVN to NIN to your phone number being your account number. I'm not trying to give you a job, but to what extent, what is the safest technology? What is the technology that, it would be so hard to break, that will be able to connect all Nigerians and have our database? How expensive? Just give us an estimate, because I have a reason. Yes, I have a reason why I'm asking. How expensive will it be? Because, every year we get budgets for different things. I would like to see if a budget for a database can be one of the budgets for,
No, 100%. I've never been a fan of the multiple digital identification methods. I don't know why we need multiple numbers just identify that we're Nigerians.
Right.
It would be very difficult to guess a number.
Right.
To be honest, I don't know Nigerians full. We hear different numbers that you throw around. I don't know how many Nigerians actually exist. We hear 250 million. We hear less than that. So it would be pretty expensive, to be honest, because it involves a lot of like you said, merging, and it's very, very old and legacy systems, because the BVN is pretty old. It's an old innovation. The NIN is newer than that, so you have to find ways to kind of merge both and find the best technology that actually
old
aligns.
Innovation, BVN.
I mean, it's more than 8 years now, relatively. It's kind of older than.
They say 8 years is old.
no, I
just go home, but
I don't mean old old.
You're fine wine. but the reason why I noted that is, if you're calling it a BVN old, then that means it's on its way to becoming obsolete. But we're still very engaged in the use of BVN.
Oh, okay.
So, of what use is it if it's going out of fashion now, and we're still touting it as world-breaking? We use BVN.
I mean, so maybe I should change the wording I used. When I say old legacy systems, there are products that we use that use legacy systems, Twitter or X, for example, uses legacy systems, and it's still operating really.
What is a legacy system?
Basically, there are new technologies that come out almost every year. So a language like C++, for example, if that's what they used, you can call that a legacy system. There'll probably be a better language that you can use in place of that now. I don't know what they used to make BVN or NIN or whatever.
Because it's old and it's out of your modern innovative spectrum.
I would say that there are newer technologies that you can definitely use. Right. But I'm not going to again act like I know the exact one that we can use.
Okay, well, something very interesting just hit me again. Now I have to ask, and trust me, it has nothing to do with Nigerian politics already. Okay. Don't be scared. This is all tech.
Okay.
Now, I know that when I transfer money from one account to the other here in Nigeria, that handshake, that B2B handshake doesn't occur here in Nigeria. I know it happens outside of the country. Why is that so? If we want to claim that this fintech space is an indigenous one, why do we still have business-to-business exchanges that happen outside of the country when I'm making transfers, like dollar transfers to somebody inside of Nigeria? And don't tell me it's because it's in dollars. I should be able to trust that, because that should save us money if I don't have to exchange with a facility outside of Nigeria, maybe in America. So why isn't that happening yet?
So I would say that that's more of a business.
You do agree that that's the way it works?
I can't say.
Okay.
I can't say. I would say that the system has worked so far up to this point. Definitely, it's up to us to look at it and see ways we can improve it and make the experience better for everybody. But I would say that that's more like a business decision. There's a reason why businesses actually choose to go that route, and it's been working. It's been working so far. It might not be the most ideal scenario, but it's working. It works. It works.
So Adewunmi, I think now I'm always asking for the bigger picture. So gathering database.
Okay.
Gathering database. I would just like to know, how long do you think it would take? So let's assume that we are 300 million Nigerians. How long do you think it would take for us to be able to gather all that information? So basically, it's having the history of everybody, which I'm sure to an extent majority of people have traveled. So how long do you think it would take?
I'm sure, first off, we need to just sit down first off and kind of agree or align on what the next approach will be.
Yeah.
Because that's the best way to think about it from first principles. We need to understand, okay, what are we trying to actually create first?
Right.
Then after that, we're able to now think of all the second order effects, because if we could merge them now, and there are some things that we could be blind on or blind not seeing right now. So we'll need a lot of smart people in one room to kind of figure out what those second-order effects could be and what exactly we're actually trying to achieve. I mean, like in the West, the US has just one number that they use for most things, right? So we should follow that route.
We have like 8.
we have a few. Again, like I said, I don't think it's ideal.
Yeah.
But it's served us to a certain point. But I think these things need to always every other year, we need to just sit down and say, is this the right approach that solve these things or not?
Yeah.
I think we're reaching that point where we're kind of realizing that this is not the most ideal approach.
Right.
And I think, very soon the government will step up to fix that.
Awesome.
We have those smart people in office.
Oh, while you get ready for that, Adewunmi, I want to say thank you very much for actually coming in today to give us an idea of how where we sit when it comes to the global look at our, especially fintech and digitization. Thank you very much also for letting us know that we're old. But we appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Adewunmi.